Peace, family. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye coming to you once again every Saturday. I just love saying this. I know you hear me saying it all the time, but I just love coming here every Saturday to share with you what I have been blessed with, by the creator and honor of our ancestors. And I'd like to thank you for blessing me with an opportunity to enter into your home, to contribute to being more conscious, aware of the need for us to transform into our reality, because a lot has happened to us, and so we must be about the business of um, transforming, or as we say, uh, practicing the Sankofa principle by going back and get it and bring it up and validate it, because we left a lot of things behind, especially when they gave us this illusion of integration, of saying, oh, we are equal. How can you be equal to someone who had 500-year jump on you? It's just an illusion. So we don't want to compete against others. I want to make us aware that we must compete with ourselves, our individual selves, to better ourselves, to be a better team player. Because we are group oriented people by nature, we're gregarious people. So I want to give you everything on the level of an etymological point of view, which means the original meaning and original terms and original understanding of things. Because we always get everything after it's been diluted and flipped and sweetened and soured and all this kind of stuff. We don't want no seasoning. We want everything raw. So I'm going to give it to you raw. And that's one of my books, Raw Food for Thought. Now, I'd like to also say that my third book is ready to be ordered, and I appreciate it if you can support, the things that I have to share with you, because all of us have something to share. And my third book is called or titled "It Seems to Me," and the subtitle is "Things We Must Acknowledge as the Original People." So I appreciate it if you can support that by going on Amazon, or I'll send a link out to you on how to order it from my publisher, uh, and so forth. So thank you. Send me your emails, and I'll send you updated information on the upcoming events. So today's topic, family, is another doozy, as they say, another powerful subject matter that is conducive to the uplifting of us as a people, uplifting our conscious awareness as a people. And so let's get right on into it. So the subject matter for today, or the topic for today, is patience. Wow, patience. So what is patience? Patience is the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, accept or tolerate trouble, and accept or tolerate, um, let's see, how about suffering? Yeah, accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering, without being angry or upset. In other words, having the ability to suppress your feelings. And that's not an easy matter, family. After all that happened to us, we have to suppress our feelings? Wow. Wait a minute, Dr. Sadiki. Wait a minute. All this stuff that happened to us and we still have to suppress? Well, guess what, family? Patience is a skill And our ancestors had that. So we must honor and represent them. Because we got to keep in mind that patience is balance. Balance. So we have to get back to the middle, where the balance is, so we can see both sides, equally. Like India Ray says, let's get back to the middle. You can see both sides equally. So a lot has happened to us, family, and I just want to give you uh, ways of, or a process to let us know that we're on the right path, and especially when we're talking about patience, because our ancestors were geniuses. They were very extremely skillful when it came to patience, and we must have that. We must honor and represent them. So, family, to have a lot of patience, number one, you must be able to wait. You must be able to wait. And that's not easy, being 500 years behind, or 500 years of oppression and suffering and all kinds of crazy stuff that happened to us. But to have a lot of patience, patience is a skill. To have a lot of patience, you must be able to wait. Delayed gratification, in other words. Number two, you must be able to continue to do something despite the difficulties. Man, you got to be all that. You got to be very disciplined. Number three, you must be able to suffer without complaining. What? Suffer without complaining? Come on, Dr. Sadiki, you got to be kidding. But truly, family, these are the things that qualify you to be a patient person. We're talking about etymology. We're talking about the beginning of these skills that I'm talking about of patience. Being able to suffer without complaining. And number four, to be able to suffer without being annoyed. Wow. Man, you got to be up there, family. You got to be definitely on top of your game. And that's where we were originally. So we have to get back to our original ways of life as being the children of God, the Most High. So, family, patience is equal to endurance and self-restraint. Be there with me, family. Patience is equal to endurance and self-restraint. A lot of people don't have that. That's why they get themselves in trouble and point the finger. We're dealing in this world, family. You talking about evilness. You talking about viciousness. You talking about being oppressed and being disrespected and being played out of our position. We can't go for that anymore because the end result is the new lynching is being shot by the police and all these other racist people, to the point where we end up doing it to ourselves because we have lost the ability to have patience. We need to understand that, family. I know that's not an easy thing to do, but we must go back to our original ways of life in order to maintain our balance, especially dealing in these hellish situations on this earth right now. And look at what's happening to our future, our children. They had turned against each other. And that's some deep, deep thing that we call impatient. And impatience is what we call pride. false pride at that. So we got to be careful, family. We have to really get our balance in order. And that's what I'm sharing with you, some ways of understanding and knowing what patience is from an etymological point of view. Etymology, the original, the beginning, and that's us. And I know it's not easy, but let me give you some ways and some characteristics of and some processes on getting our patience back so that we can prolong our lives and be more effective. So patience, like I said, is equal to endurance and self-restraint. Definitely. Now learning can be very painful, but patience is a virtue. A virtue. High standards of thinking, high standards of morality, high standards of being. So we must elevate, family. And I'm here to share with you, and prayerfully I motivate, inspire, and encourage you to be about that, because we owe that to ourselves. We owe that to be the example for our children, our future. Some of us are doing it, but we need more examples, and so that we can stop blaming the children, because the children didn't come here that way. They ended up that way. They developed into the way they are. Self-haters, no patience, false pride, too emotional, overly emotional. So learning can be painful, but patience is a virtue. Let's get that, family, and let's be serious about that. Now, religiously speaking, patience is being completely humble and completely gentle, especially when it comes to ourselves and one another. Religiously speaking, and these so-called leaders in these buildings that we call churches, synagogues, temples, and mosques, they need to teach us the truth about things. They teach us that low-level stuff. Everybody's stuck in the first grade from the cradle to the grave. We can no longer go for that. So therefore, we have to take the initiative individually to raise our consciousness. And I'm here to motivate and inspire you to do that, family. We must be about progress. We must be about transformation. So, religiously speaking, patience is being completely humble and gentle, especially when it comes to each other with love. And don't forget, love by itself can't stand. What keeps love strong? Respect. Because respect is the foundation to all relationships. The stronger your respect, the more you can build on it, and it will last. And that's why Tina Turner made that song, What Love Got to Do with It. What she was saying was, when you don't respect me. So love comes and goes, so it's just an emotional thing. Real love does not come and go. Real love is always there. And keep in mind that love is action, not just a feeling. So family, how do you exercise patience? Ask yourself that. How do I exercise patience then? Since you said patience is a virtue and patience is this and patience is that. Okay, well, the first thing, number one, is mindfulness. And what do I mean by mindfulness? Being consciously aware. Consciously aware of what? first and foremost of yourself and what's going on in your house, in your mental house, the real house. That's where God resides within. Number one, mindfulness, conscious awareness. Number two is accepting your current circumstances. That means stay in the moment. Let's stay in the moment. Number three, build a tolerance. We must build a tolerance. We must build strength. We must be able to be disciplined enough to be still when it's time. Number four is consciously slow down, family. We must consciously slow down. Be at peace so that the universe can speak to you, so that you can listen to that still small voice that's within, that God voice, that universal voice that a lot of us snuff out by playing all this loud music, partying and talking garbage, gossiping and all of that. We must tap into our center. There's where the peace is, so that we can listen to that still small voice, the voice that will allow you to be balanced at all times and to transform. Number five, be playful. You know, some of us are too stiff. We must maintain our youthfulness. Nothing wrong with laughing and joking and so forth, being silly here and there. What's wrong with that? That's youthfulness. That keeps your blood flowing. Don't forget, everything is based on energy. So we have to keep a youthful energy going, because the blood is our lifeline, and so we must make sure that the blood doesn't get clogged up. It should be free flowing. And number six, family, be a good listener. Be a good listener, especially when the universe is speaking. Listen to what the universe is revealing to you, instead of listening to all this garbage that's taking us the other way. And let's be able to listen to one another. Show empathy. Be inspired. Show humility. You got to be all that to do that, family. But guess what? You can do it. You can do it. So let me say this to you, family, that I care so much about sharing with you that I will deny myself of a lot of things personally in order to show you that you are important. You are valuable. You are more than what you think you are. We are more than blood, family. We are spiritual, brothers and sisters. We are spiritual family. We are more than blood. And we must understand that. And I love saying that because it gets me flowing, gets my blood flowing, because we are more than blood. It gets my spirits going, my energy going, my frequency is stepping up. So, people who have patience, they take the time, family, they take the time to do their own self. And what do I mean by that? They take the time to do their own will based on the frame of reference from our ancestors. Everybody have a responsibility for self-development for the team. But everything starts within. As within, so without. So if I know, so if my light is shining, I know if your light is shining. If I'm a plumber, I know if you're a plumber. So a lot of people say, "Oh, you don't know me like that," and you'd be surprised what some of us know, especially when you're coming from an ancestral uh, uh, frame of reference. The ones before you. Don't forget, we have the spiritual ancestors and we have the ancestors who are here having a human experience. That's us. So let's keep the connection to the spiritual ancestors. Call on them whenever you need them. They're waiting for us because they always want the best for us. So let's keep the connection. Be ye in this world, but not of it. That's the challenge. And patience is one of the keys to it all. Understand that patience is the key. So, family, a patient person has the ability to wait. They have the ability to wait and or endure hardships for a long time without being upset and angry. Patient people can take a lot. Patient people are the ones that always have to wait. That's not always easy. 500 years behind, and they telling us to continue to wait. But guess what, family? There's a difference between patience and passive. Patience means waiting while you're moving, while you're doing something. And passive means waiting and you're not doing a damn thing, but complaining, pointing the finger, wanting somebody to feel sorry for you, making people feel you're helpless and powerless. Family, we got to understand etymology, the original meaning of words and terms. And I want to give it to you from that point of view, from an etymological point of view. And that's what I do. So you don't have to believe everything I say, family. Check it out for yourself. I pray that you do, because earning it personally is more important, because you would appreciate it more. So do yourself a favor, family, and study to show yourself approval. And lean not to your own misunderstanding, but rightly dividing the word of truth. Oh yeah, it makes you feel good. Earning it yourself allows you to appreciate it more. No question about it. So family, did you know that tribulations causes perseverance? Suffering and hardships causes perseverance. And perseverance produces character. And character produces hope. Wow. I hope you hear me, family, because this is extremely important to get our individual selves together to qualify to be chosen, to be a child of God. Not just based on feelings, but based on your actions and your deeds. Something that you can see, something that you can notice, something that you can recognize. Because a lot of people have this funky attitude, I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. Okay, well, prove it to yourself, and people will see it. So the proof is in the pudding. And I'm not talking about no jello pudding. I'm talking about doing something, putting your efforts in. Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing like, earning it in life. You appreciate it more. So, family, Great leaders exemplifies patience despite their members lacking confidence and or faith. Also being slow to recognize and understand. You have to be all that. All leaders, great leaders, had those qualities. Despite their members lacking confidence and faith and being slow to recognize and understand, you have to hold. You have to continue to do what? Wait. And waiting is not a simple thing when you're 500 years behind catching pure hell. But you can't beat the blessings. So give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance, family. Patience is one of the hardest things to develop. One of the hardest things to develop. Especially when you always have to wait, like I said before. Wow. Waiting is not an easy thing. But you have to have that type of energy in order to promote discipline. It's all about discipline. It's all about character building. It's all about getting back to the middle. You can see both sides clearly. Because you never know which side you might have to go. So don't say never, because you might have to. But the key right now, family, is to make sure that you discipline yourself where you can take a lot without getting angry or upset. And we've been doing it all our lives, really. But we have to maintain that. We have to be on top of our game. You can't take nothing for granted. Never let your guards down. To even have that kind of love for our people in spite of it all, you have to make sure that you guard your heart. Put your breastplate on and tighten it up, especially for those that we care for. Because a lot of times we give too much of our heart to them over time. And we end up taking ourselves under. That's why you have to draw a line and never go below that line. That's just to preserve yourself. Don't let them feel that you hate them because you're not willing to drown. You're not really willing to destroy yourself because of their inability to move or to elevate or to transform. Timing is the key, family, to it all. That's why you should draw a line. That's why you should develop a process that will take you from A to B as straight as possible. Some of us have more patience than others, or willing to have more patience than others. But that's a judgment call. So be careful what you choose, because all choices have a future. And what is happening to you right here, right now, at this moment, came from choices from yesterday. Whether it was conscious or unconscious, cause and effect. And all causes are correlated to the effects. And all effects is correlated to the causes. So there's no such thing as accidents, luck, chance, coincidence, and all of that. It's only cause and effect. You plant a watermelon seed, you get watermelons. You plant bean seeds, you get beans. A lot of people tell you, "Oh, I planted a banana seeds, and then all these weeds be coming up. Then you get something else coming up." But guess what? One thing about time reveals it all. People talk a good game, but just watch and just wait, and you'll see their reality. And you don't have to hate or exaggerate. Just call it for what it is. Be true to yourself, make it real, and keep it real. You have to intentionally do that, family. Great leaders exemplify patience. And if you look at all our leaders, we had a lot of patience with our people. A lot. And we had a lot of patience with the enemy, too. So you have to draw a line to determine, what you're going to do. The closer you get to that line, you better be mindful. You have to be extremely conscious of where you are. So, family, patience is a virtue. Impatience is a person with pride. Those are the people that know good for the group concept. They're no good. And we have too many of those people, too much pride. Sometimes you have to bite your tongue. Sometimes you got to keep your mouth shut. But that doesn't make you less than a man. It doesn't make you less than a woman. That makes you wise, depending on the circumstances. Yes. And a lot of times, we even have to wait on God. Always waiting. That's what patience is all about. Because God is what? God is slow at anger. And we have to honor and represent God, the Most High, and be that way. Be slow at anger, especially towards ourselves and one another. Love ye one another. Respect ye one another. Be patient with ye one another. Respect ye one another. Give the benefit of the doubt. That's why God is slow at anger. He gives us what? Mercy and grace. But we take that for granted. But we owe that to each other. What do you call that? The benefit of the doubt. We owe the benefit of the doubt to one another, even ourselves. The hardest thing to do is to forgive yourself. But we have to go over and beyond where we are and where we've been thrust into, family, and start representing in spite of it all. So, let me give you some synonyms so you can see a broader picture of patience. Synonyms are things that are similar. So let me give you some words or terms that are similar to patience. The first one is long suffering. Long suffering. Number 2, stoic. Number 3, uncomplaining. Number 4, agreeing. Number 5, obedience. And number 6, willing. These are just 6 of the many. Now everything has opposites. Let me give you antonyms of patience. Number 1, complaining. Number 2, uncooperative. Number 3, discouragement. Number 4, fed up. And number 5, protesting. These are some of the terms for a family that represents patience and that are opposite of patience. Now, Ask yourself, after I gave you the difference, which one are you? Where are you? Be honest. Be true to thyself. So, family, as a result of patience, I just want to say this to you, family, that patience is power. Patience is power. It causes you to reclaim your time. It causes you to reclaim your priorities. And it causes you to reclaim your uh, ability to respect life with firmly grounded sense of who you are. Wow. I hope you heard me, family. Patience is power. It causes you to reclaim your time, your priorities, and your respect or your ability to respond to life with a firm, grounded sense of who you are. Whoo! And that's deep. That's real deep, family. Wow. Now, being patient with yourself is being conscious. It's being conscious, family, of your humanity. It allows you to be conscious of your humanity and self restraint. Mm. Humanity and self restraint. Wow. Delayed gratification. Mm. Oh, I want mine yesterday. Okay. Well, the true meaning of patience is to have the ability to wait. Once you send it out in the universe, now you have to wait. Don't forget, waiting while you're moving, waiting while you're doing something productive, not waiting and complaining, not waiting and feeling sorry for yourself, not waiting to feel powerless and want somebody to feel for you. Nah, man up, woman up, mind up, own up. Everything is up. The Nile runs up north. The only river, or they might have one more, but I know the Nile runs up. We got to go up. Remember, we used to sing in church. Most of us were raised in the church. They say Jacob's ladder goes higher and higher. Keep on climbing. But for some reason, we got stuck. Now we're angry, frustrated, and end up taking it out on each other. That's what cowards do. Don't be a coward. Challenge yourself. The number one challenge is self. Makes you feel better once you overcome certain things. But you got to give yourself a chance, family. And deal with, um, as we mature with our faith, family, mm, my mind is speeding now. I'm feeling so good here. My frequency has stepped up talking about patience and what is necessary to develop that. So as you mature with faith, family, all the characteristics of your spiritual fruit will grow as well. I hope you're hearing me, family, because this is some deep stuff. This is no surface stuff. That's why they used to call us deep rooted people, deep divers. Now we have become shallow rooted. Whatever comes, it blows us all over the place. And we are deep divers. We are shallow divers. We got to get deep once again, family. We got to go back and get it. So, once again, as we mature in our faith, all the characteristics of our spiritual fruit will grow as well. But you got to be patient. You got to put it out there in the universe and allow the universe to make a way. It's just a matter of time, family. And while you're waiting, prepare. Because everything in life is all about preparation. We got to prepare because it'll come at any moment. So be prepared so it won't catch you off guard. It's all about preparation. So, family, remember, the bottom line to patience is balance. Balance. And all balance is in the middle. You can see both sides clearly. That's why our ancestors were geniuses. They were all that and created the scale. The scale represents balance. And my awareness is when you pass on, the Creator is going to weigh your heart with a feather. Who? What? A feather? Let's understand that, family, that we must show more love with respect than ever before because you have to have it to give it. So patience is a skill, and we have to develop the skills to be patient, especially with ourselves and one another, with love, with respect as the foundation. So, family, I pray that you got something out of this. Pursue it yourself and get more of it. Be motivated, be inspired, be patient with yourself, and then you can give it. So, family, I love you. I bless you, and I want you to prosper. Stay strong and keep your faith where it belongs, because life is for the living. Let the dead bury the dead. It doesn't matter who it is, but it's what it is. Do your best and let God do the rest. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold. But you have to have a sharp discerning spirit to know the difference so you won't be using emotions, the very thing that always got us in trouble. Because a wise man goes by what he knows, not what he feels. The wise man goes by what he knows, not his good intentions. So we got to start knowing something. Because we are the original knowers. We are the original educators. We are the original spiritual beings. There was no others before us. Everybody else came later. So let's take our rightful position and bless ourselves. Keep your head towards the universe, family, and never give up and never, ever, ever give in, because that's where you get your strength from, towards the universe. Never give in, because everything is, always was, and always will be in divine order. God don't make no mistakes, but we do. But when you learn from your mistakes, it's all good. So keep on growing and keep on learning. You cannot go wrong, but you have to have a tremendous amount of patience to be able to accept or tolerate delay, accept or tolerate trouble, accept or tolerate suffering, long suffering. You cannot beat the blessings, family. Give yourself a chance. Being impatient is false pride. And people who have false pride do not last, but they suffer before they go unnecessarily. So, family, right thinking, right giving, and right eating. That's the pyramid. That's what you call holistic living. Right thinking, right giving, right eating. And God is in the middle. Our Father, Mother. Our Father, Mother. God is all that. Doesn't matter. So, family, happy new journey. Happy new life. Happy new you. Peace, Baraka, and Hotep. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye, your servant, your true servant. Because what good is it to have it and not share it? And giving is a principle, and we cannot afford to not give. Regular people feel that giving is losing. Real people love to give. So, with that in mind, family, keep on growing and keep on learning. And bless yourself. Until the next time, go ahead on and do yourself a favor and embrace the subject matters that I'm sharing with you, because that's all part of character building. Always strive to be a better version of who you are. That's what you call transformation. So, with that in mind, family, thank you for the opportunity to share what I have been blessed with and take it to another level. Until the next time, family, peace, blessings, and be safe.